Hi everyone, hope your week's been going better than mine. Feeling a bit down, don't even feel like bringing in comic relief for this entry. I've been tagged twice to do an entry into the Bushcraft breakfast tag. I want to go heavy on the Bushcraft. Right, so what I'm doing today is I'm going to be rubbing sticks together to make pancakes. To probably explain how that works. So, I'm making pancakes. Pretty common breakfast food. But, I'm doing them with a type of wild passion fruit. Now, I should make it very clear. There are poisonous types of wild passion fruit in this country. Don't eat it unless you know what it is. And the type I'm using today is also poisonous, unless it's completely ripe. So I'm not telling you how to identify it because I don't want to mess it up and, you know, have people die. Wait, I thought I said I wasn't going to have comic relief in this. Oh, the therapeutic nature of being silly on camera. Oh, why can't I do this professionally all the damn time? Okay, so a while ago I did a video on a method I came up with to do a kneeling bow drill, and I've been asked to re-show it because I filmed it a bit too close so that you could see the smoke and the ember. So I've been asked to redo it from a bit of a greater distance away and shown side on so you can get a better look at it. And today would be a great chance for me to do that because I had to cross through mud and water to get here. So I don't want to put my muddy boots on my 5x friction set. So I've got my bird's nest. It's made up of two different types of paper bark. I've got a stringy type around the outside made into a bird's nest. I've got a really thin, very tissue paper like type of paper bark roughed up in the inside. And I've got a massive chunk of char cloth left over from my Donohe experiment, which was that medieval tactical fire starter slash body warmer that was actually used by ninjas and documented in the Shonen Key, I believe the text was, the old ninja scroll. So yeah, if you want to check that out, go right ahead. But I'm going to use that leftover char material as an Ember Extender, because with that Donohe we got a little ember going and it just slowly fed through all the char material until it ran out of oxygen or whatever the hell happened to it. So if we take that small tiny little ember from the 5x friction set and we put it in there and we let that build, that should turn into a great big ember. And if a chunk of char material like that glowing red hot is not enough to get paper bark going, something's definitely not right, because paper bark is great tinder. Just because I want to experiment with, you know, using char material as a ember extender for primitive fire. have fire. Okay, so I've got my trench fire going, and I've got my water right next to it in case it gets out of hand. So once that gets down to the coals, I can put this rock on top of it, bridging the gap. We can have ourselves a nice hot stone skillet. Right, so I've got my self-raising flour in a container. I'm gonna add a bit of milk to it. We don't want it too runny because we haven't got a very large rock to use as a skillet. So it's going to be kind of a thick batter, and I'm just going to mix it in the bag. It just makes it so much easier than having to have extra containers and mixing it with spoons or using my hands, which may or may not even be clean. Yeah, this just makes it a bit more sanitary and a lot easier. Just want to knead it, try and get it pretty consistent so there's no lumps of powder or anything. Now we're going to add a bit of bush honey to sweeten it. It's a bit of spotted gum bush honey. This is spotted gum bush honey. It is something I bought, just want to make that clear. Don't know if it's raw honey or not, but it is pretty nice. You can really taste the eucalypts. And of course, try and knead that through as well. I've just got to add a bit of margarine to this, which has melted conveniently. It's not the coldest place in the world out here. And we'll save some of that. We'll just use the rest of this to grease the skillet. So we need a little bit in the mixture, partly for flavour, but also helps with preventing your batter from sticking to a skillet. Now for the ingredient that actually makes this more bush. That is our wild passion fruit. Don't want to use too many, just a few for flavour. Just want to use the yellowest ones, just because, well, green ones are poison, so I'm going to use the ripest ones. It's just a little matter of squeezing them out. They don't taste exactly the same as a domestic passion fruit, but not that far off. It's pretty alright, I guess. Yeah. This reminds me of some of the stories I hear about mountain men just taking the stuff to make a batter and adding whatever kind of food they can find on the trail to that batter to flavour it. So I'm definitely not the first person to ever do this, because there's a pretty good record of mountain men doing stuff similar to this. Seal it up. Try and mix some of those passion fruit seeds through. And they have got a pretty good taste to them. Alright, so there's our batter. Because it's a very small skillet, we're just going to have to do a few at a time. It's easier with a frying pan. You know what, I reckon this is a bit more bushcraft doing it this way. I could already see bubbles coming up through it from the heat. So hopefully this shouldn't take too long. Oh no, I forgot to lubricate the rock first. That's a big mistake. Oh well. Just a matter of making sure I keep that fire going right next to it, just so it's constantly got something heating the rock up. Would be ideal if it was underneath, but I didn't make the trench deep enough. So at this point it's almost like doing a plank cooked pancake, except I'm using a rock. Now it's a bit gooey, but that's how I like my pancakes. I don't like them too firm, I like them still just a bit soft and chewy, but you know, that's me. I could leave it on longer if I wanted firmer pancakes, but you know, that's what I've got, and it looks really nice. Really should have remembered to pour all of that margarine onto the rock first, but oh well, not the end of the world. Okay, so time for the taste test. Could have left it on there for a minute or two longer. Then again, I really I do prefer my pancakes really chewy and gooey. I can definitely taste the wild passion fruit in it, as well as the honey. I'm just hoping that what I'm crunching is seeds and not bits of sand. I kind of like having teeth. And I've got plenty more batter, so I could just keep doing that over and over again until I'm full. Alright everyone, so I've got to tag 3 people for this. Now, I should probably say thank you to Mr. Aussie Adventurer and Top Wolf for both tagging me. Mr. Aussie Adventurer tagged me a while back. I'd been eyeing off some wild edibles I wanted to use for this, but they got wiped out by a flood right before he tagged me. So I've just been waiting until some other wild edibles I could use ripened up. And while I was waiting, Top Wolf tagged me as well. Sorry, Top Wolf, I know you requested that I cook something using crocodile, and we all know I've got crocodile meat in my freezer, but crocodile flavored pancakes, I should hopefully cook up some crocodile not before too long, once I think of something really nice to use it in. First person I'd like to tag is a guy called Twiggy, because I just want to send some more traffic his way. I really love his channel. I've been watching it since about the time he started making videos. He is funny as hell, but I really like him because he's actually going out and he's testing stuff. He wants to learn how to survive out in the wilderness in case of emergencies. He's developing what he calls the Yules system. He's trying to put together a kit to enable him to survive for, I think it's a minimum of 6 months out in the wilderness if there was ever an emergency where he had to. And he's not just basing it on what other people are doing, he's picking bits of gear and he's going out and he's experimenting with them. But I think it is just horrible how few subscribers he has, because he is hilarious and he is, you know, he's not just recycling what everyone else is saying. He's going out and he's learning for himself. Now me, I'm trying to get to the point where I can survive out in the bush just on my skills. We're both trying to learn through experimentation, but one of the main differences, he's a bit more gear orientated, I'm a bit more skills orientated, but he's funny as hell and he's actually making an effort to learn from first-hand experience. So I recommend you all go check him out. And yes, he is funny as hell. So I'm going to have to think about who my other 2 people I'm going to tag are. Alright everyone, hope you have a good one.